Hello, lovely. It's Friday. Hurrah! It's not been uh, it's not been an easy week in the UK for most of us, I would say, but particularly for those people impacted by the riots on the weekend. I think we've had all emotions. We've had the horror and the disgust at the riots, and then the joy and the humanity of seeing so many people go out in the streets and support the immigrants that we have invited into our country and or have welcomed into our country if they've been fleeing from uh, all sorts of horrors. So yeah, it's been a tough week, and I'm seeing that reflected very much on social media today. People are pretty pleased that we've made it through to Friday, hopefully in one piece for most people. All right, so we're looking at day 13 today of Atomic Habits, which is the book that we're working our way through, because if we want to make any changes in our life, it's probably going to involve having some new habits. And anything we can get from books like this that can help us get those habits in place is a good thing. So we're up to chapter 12, and we're into the third law of habits, which is making it easy, which is something I'm very much into. And this is called the law of least effort. So James Clear starts off talking about motivation, and saying, you would think that motivation is the key to habit change. But actually, apparently, as human beings, our real motivation is to be lazy and just do what is convenient. And there's a very good reason for this. We are wired to preserve our energy, because if we, as we always do, look at how we might have been back in tribal times, we needed to preserve that energy because we never knew when we were going to need it, when we'd have to run. So don't beat yourself up about the fact that you feel lazy. It's actually quite good for you. It's that's what we're naturally designed to do. And we as human beings are constantly trying to force ourselves to be more motivated and do more things, which is also perfectly natural for most of us. So we have to make our habits so easy that we'll do them even if we don't feel like it. On the those days when you just feel like you want to give in, so to try and make everything as to put everything in your favor as much as possible when you're going to try and do these habits, we need to have at least the easy version, and certainly when we're starting out, to make it easy as possible. We need to reduce the friction. So one thing, it's like if you're thinking of going to the gym, if the gym happens to be on your way to work or your way home from work, well, that's going to be much more successful than if you have to jump on 2 buses to get to the gym, right? Like, you're just putting friction in front of you if you choose to go somewhere far enough away. I've been for a swim this morning, and it is a bit of a trek to the pool, unfortunately. I wish I had, I lived at Hampstead Heath and could swim in the ponds and it was out my front garden, but that's not how it is. And so it takes effort for me to go. And I try to make it a Friday morning adventure, going to the pool. And I try to run there, and then I enjoy my walk back through the park, and I actually take my shoes off so that I can walk on the grass. So I'm kind of trying to make it easy, but it's challenging because that's the reality of where it is. But, if you think of things like, let's say you want to send a birthday card to somebody, you are much more likely to send that birthday card if you have a pile of cards in your house already than if you have to go out to the shop to buy a card for that particular person. And it's the usual, putting your running clothes out the day before. If you want to take lunch to work, chop up the food ready to go the night before, so that you're not trying to think about doing it in the morning. So just, really trying to think of those things. How can you make it as easy as possible for yourself? I mean, one of those things for me is, I need to spend Sunday at some point on the weekend, usually on a Sunday afternoon, really prepping my week so that I don't just give up on it by Monday afternoon, right? If it's kind of planned and I've made everything as easy as possible, I'm much more likely to get through it. No guarantee, but for example, planning what I'm going to say on these videos. If I leave it till Monday morning, I don't have the same motivation. But if I've planned it on the weekend, for some reason, the planning and the doing, if they're separate, that really helps me to get it done. So trying to think about how you can make whatever habit is that you're trying to put in place to make it easy. Look for the points of friction and try and remove them one by one. Do you find that you always have to pack this particular bag every time you want to go to the pool, for example? So having that bag ready so it's easy for me to grab it on the morning that I want to go to the pool, the one that's got my swimsuit in, it's got a towel in, it's got everything that I'm going to need when I'm there. Got to have it ready. Asking yourself how you can design a world where it's easy to do what's right, making those actions that matter the easiest things to do. If you can use technology, please do, because that is technology designed to help you. So if you wanted to, you want to save more money, there's technology that will, every time you pay for something, it will round up the money and put it into a separate bank account for you, all that kind of thing. Use, or just automatically taking money out of your account each month to go into a savings account. Use that technology rather than trying to make yourself think about doing it every time. If you want to listen to self-development podcasts, for example, you want to subscribe to those podcasts, set up a channel on your podcast app so that you turn it on and it's ready to go. All that kind of thing, right? So just spend a little bit of time thinking about the habit that you want to put in place and figure out how you're going to make it as easy as possible for you to do it, because you are naturally a lazy person, as am I, as if everybody, because we're all designed to preserve our energy, and you're trying to battle that natural inclination. Have a fabulous weekend.